Hey dreamers, Bryce here from Midnight Notion, singer-songwriter, musician, big fan of Metallica, but I have no idea what my favorite Metallica song is. Could it be Attitude? Let's use math to find out. Cue the intro.
Shoot it, give it to me now!
For the best Metallica song! Attitude, a nice little ditty at the end of the record, song 12 out of 13. We're almost done with this dumb background, and then we're on to S&M for just 2 songs. But regardless, today we're going to listen to it, you and me. We're going to use our analytical listening skills to stop it every once in a while and talk about anything that's interesting. And then I'm going to grade it using the following criteria: composition, memorability, emotional response, instrumentation, and lyrics. Each category is a scale of 0 to 4 with a grand total of 20 possible points. We'll find out at the end if this one has enough to make it to the top 20, which is technically a top 19. Whatever. Hey, you know what? You're awesome. I really appreciate you, and I love you, and I think you're an amazing human being. So let's be friends. Smash that subscribe button, and we'll be friends forever. And it's free. Ha! All right, let's listen to this song, all right? Yeah. There's a lot of counting in these 2 records. 1, 2, 3, 4. We had some counting in Low Man's Lyric. We had some counting. I forget what the other song was, the intro of that song. And then this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to admit, even though we just started the song, I am a sucker for this riff. It's super, super catchy. Yeah! Now we're back to the rock. Build up. That these builds are not emphasizing the 1, they're emphasizing the 2. Again, I've been talking about this through the entire catalog so far, but Lars loves emphasizing the 2. When you look at a measure and you count it 1, 2, 3, 4, a lot of bands, most artists, almost all the time, they're going to emphasize the 1 or the and. If you're doing an offbeat type song, you might do the 4 and on the previous measure. But typically speaking, it's the first beat of the measure that gets the hit. Lars is emphasizing the 2, and it's the snare and the cymbal. So he's doing the build for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. And so, I don't know, I just think that's really unique. I know that he's probably not the first person ever to do this, and I know he's not the last. I do stuff like that all the time, but I really appreciate this style. It's unique. Lars does it all the time. It's like his... you could tell when Lars is drumming versus somebody else because he's gonna make that sort of an emphasis. And I don't know, I just think it's really neat. Cool. Halftime. I love those offbeats coming into the chorus. Ba 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 do 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 do. By having the whole song be very straight, the whole song is pretty 1, 2, 3, 4. By doing the 1 and 2 and it's 1 and. I don't know. It's a nice syncopation. It's a nice switch up. It gets you kind of like. It's not so wonky where it's like a rhythm that makes you go, whoa, what's happening here? It's still on beat, but it gets your head kind of moving backwards a little bit. If you've been bobbing your head forward like this, then you gotta, and, you're like falling backwards. Ah, oh no, ah. And then after the fall, you're ready for the chorus, and it picks you right back up. And da, 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 back to bobbing heads. It's cool too because it's a nice transition between that halftime feel, right? If we look at the structure of the song, we got a main riff that's kind of straight, but then we've got a verse that is riding on the toms. We got just boom, 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 right? So it's still doing that straight feel, but because it's on the toms, it feels kind of halftime a little bit. It feels different. And then when we come out of that, we have a halftime feel with the crash cymbal being the and then a little fill with the and now we're back to straight. This is a great way to set up a song. Having each section, each verse, chorus, main riff, each one has like a different cymbal or part of the drum kit that is your main timekeeper. So our main timekeeper goes washy hi-hat, floor tom, crash cymbal, back to washy hi-hat. I love the mix. It differentiates verse from chorus, but the transitions feel right because it's still the same tempo. I don't know how else to explain it other than I think it's awesome.
Attitude, asleep at the wheel. Throw all your bullets in the fire and run like hell. Why kill people? Whatever happened to swear?
Love it. Okay, if you're talking about catchphrases, every superhero has some sort of catchphrase. I could do this all day, right? There's a lot of movies where the main character will have a catchphrase. Catchphrases make things memorable, and catchphrases are something that you can attach yourself to as an audience person and really grow fond of, so that when they're delivered later, you're like, oh, that's the line, that's the line. In music, you can do the same thing, catchphrases. One of the catchphrases is the beginning of this song, the snare and the cymbal with the kick drum. Right? And then the other catchphrase is the da 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 da. So you hear at the end of the chorus, we come back to the offbeats, ba 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 ba, and run like hell, right? And then there's a pause. Whatever happened, we're calling back to the very beginning of the song when the drums first come in. And then, of course, another catchphrase would be the guitar licks that repeat. But I'm just saying there are sections of your song, if you treat them like a catchphrase, like a memorable moment, you treat them like a moment and you bring them back throughout the song, sprinkled in tactfully, you got a nice little recipe. If you use them too often or not enough, it's not as memorable. So they're doing a lot of things compositionally that make this memorable. So, great. Okay. I like how the first time we hear the main riff, it's played 4 times through, okay? 2 times normal, and then 2 times with the wah guitar. This time, we just get the middle 2. We get a normal one and a wah guitar one. They're having it. Again, we don't have to play the entire 4 times through. I was gonna say 4 bars, but the measure, it's like a 4-bar rhythm played once. That's 1 time through. Blech. Let's listen to the song.
Suppose I say the vultures smile at me. Suppose I say I've set them down and they plan to pick you free. And satisfaction this way comes. And satisfaction this way comes. And satisfaction's here and gone. Gone, yeah, gone again. Ooh, I hunger. Ooh, I hunger.
Stretching it out.
I eat. Born into attitude. I sleep at the wheel. Throw all your bullets in the fire and stand there. Born into attitude.
We have a second chorus, all right? It's not, they changed the ending of the hook was throw all your bullets in the fire and run like hell. But now we get a twist and stand there. And now there's new words, a little bit different.
To whisper the tongue. Throw all your bullets in the fire and run like hell.
Okay, I love this. I love this. Okay, we have a tease of the main riff, and then we go into the main riff alternate version, which is kind of calling back to their roots, right? Now we have this halftime feel. There's one chunky guitar just going chun 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 chun, something like that in the background. But James and Kirk are harmonizing now, and we got a little bit of a build, kind of a throwback to their earlier, I don't know, it's kind of got a little bit of Justice in there, maybe Puppets, maybe even Kill 'Em All, but it's a nice little dueling guitar harmony building up to something bigger. I like this. Okay, cool. So we have that nice halftime feel, right? Build again, an emphasis on the two again. That's another catchphrase for this song. And now the rhythm guitar is playing the verse riff, but notice that the drums are no longer on the toms. The drums are playing the straight groove because the solo's you got a headbang for the solo. And when you're on those toms, you get a slighter headbang. You get like a boom, 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 boom. You get more of a halftime bang. But when you're on the snare, like when you're on the hi-hat snare, boom, cat, boom, cat. I love that. The last part of that solo, or that bridge before the solo, had this really cool like ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-bow. And the drums were just 1, 2, 3, 4, really slow. He could have been, but he just it really gives you kind of like a drag, like, oh, we're almost there, and then ba 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 ba, and now we got a nice little solo. Okay, we had a nice little pause there, 2 snare hits, pa-ka. Again, there's the catchphrase, pa-ka. Back to main riff. Okay, I love what the guitars are doing here. We got James is just doing like a do, and then Kirk is responding with a do 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 do. They're going back and forth, and we got this nice little breakdown. This could be a nice little clapping moment, like a hey 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 moment. Could be a crowd response moment. You could really turn this interesting. Turn it into something interesting live. Please play it live. I want to hear it live. Got the scratches. Nice. Satisfaction's here and gone again. Okay, now we're back to this riff, but it's a straight groove instead of halftime. Interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like it should go back to halftime, but I like that it's changing. So, on the fence, but okay, all right. I see what you're doing. Forward into attitude. I sleep at the wheel. Throw all your bullets in the fire and stand there. Forward into attitude. Twist by the tongue. Throwing all your bullets in the fire. That's a nice, fun song. Quick, simple, not much to it, but also pretty interesting. I like that they didn't do the pa-ka at the end of that last chorus. They went straight to the build, and then there's a callback to the intro. ba bum bum ba. It's a little bit different, but it's a callback in nonetheless. I don't know, man. I really like what I heard, but let's add up those points. Here we go. Whoosh. Composition. Now, the only knock I can give to this song is that it is verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. Very similar layout to everything they've ever written. The only difference here is that the second chorus is longer, and the third or the final chorus is also longer, and both of them aren't copy pasted. Like, you can tell that final chorus was sung differently and maybe played just slightly differently on the drums. But overall, the structure of the song has a lot of what I look for in composition. We have an intro that kind of teases the main riff, but it kind of holds out what's going to happen next. We got some counting in the background. We got that little, like I talked about throughout the song, we got a lot of catchphrases that we can identify with. We got some interesting pauses. We've got some interesting offbeats. We got a mixture between halftime and straight time, common time. We've got some cymbal. We got some hi-hat. We got some toms. I'm mostly pointing out the drums, but that's what makes the song interesting to me. The main riff is really cool. We build up to another part of the chord for the pre-chorus. We have a really fun little harmonized build-up before the solo. In my opinion, this is kind of a good example of what Metallica does. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for saying this, but right here on the end of Reload, this song, I think you could show this song to someone and be like, yeah, that's what Metallica sounds like. It ticks off all the boxes. It's got dueling guitar solo. It's got a wah guitar solo. It's got fun drums. It's got a snarky attitude to the lyrics. It's got attitude in the title of the song. I don't know, man. I'm just saying this song fits Metallica's thing. It's their shtick. For me, I think compositionally, I'm going to only knock it 1 point for having the same structure, but otherwise, very well done. We'll give this one a 3. Memorability. I was talking about catchphrases all the way throughout this as it relates to music, and the reason for that is because they use lots of them, and I think that's one way to make something memorable. Does this Does this song stand out? Maybe not so much. It doesn't fit in with the likes of Enter Sandman or One or Puppets. Maybe from the audience's perspective, the general audience perspective, they obviously don't play it live, if at all ever. Have they ever played this one live? I forgot to check. But for a song that's so fun and groovy and I don't know, it just ticks all the boxes. For me, I think it's memorable. I think there's a lot of stuff to remember. Born into Attitude. For once, we have the hook of the song, the title of the song as the first line of the chorus. It's not even the final. It's not like the end of the chorus, right? So that's interesting to me. But I think that the main riff is memorable. The groove is memorable. The dueling solo build-up is memorable. I like this song. I like it a lot. I remember it a lot. So memorability, I'm going to give it a 3. Emotional response. Now that I listen to the song with a little bit more of an analytical approach, I actually like it more. I knew I liked this song coming in. I had a little bit of bias, pro attitude bias coming in, as you could tell from my outro to yesterday's video. But honestly, I do really like this song. And on second listen, or however many times I've heard this, I like it even more. I want this song live. I really, really love this song. I can't explain why other than what I've said already. So emotional response, it's a 4. Instrumentation, they're all doing great. I think the highlight for the song is the way that the drums change, the way that they go from the toms to I've already said it. I love the way that they change in each section. They keep each section different, but it links them together really nicely. And then those offbeat hits kind of link it really nicely. I don't know. I just like what they're doing here. I appreciate everything. So instrumentally, it's a 3. Lyrics. I have been, in the past, I've talked a lot about songs that are macho, ooh, me awesome, you bad, me cool, and how that doesn't usually win me over. So the lines about throw all your bullets in the fire and run like hell. Oh, I was born in attitude. I'm gonna twist mother's tongue. That stuff doesn't usually speak to me, but I think there's another depth to this song because as we are going through this record, we're finding a lot of commentary on sin and sinfulness and the pleasures that are maybe not so, the pleasures of the world that aren't so great. We have lusting and alcoholism and drug addiction, and we've got a so sad song about a lonely man that's homeless, potential suicide. There's a lot of sinfulness in this record. And so I think if we carry that over, this could still be from the eyes of the serpent, from Slither. It could be from just evil incarnate, right? Just whatever embodiment of sin you can imagine is like, I'm born into attitude and I'm coming for you, right? I think this is a voice, giving a voice to evil, if that makes sense. So I don't know if that's 100% accurate. I'm just doing the English teacher version. I'm not an English teacher, but you know how English teachers, they're like, this book means this, and that meaning wasn't really intended to be there. I'm trying to dive in as deep as I can go, and for me, I think that this is the voice of sin speaking out onto the people. The vultures smile at me, and I'm gonna send them to pick you clean. I think that's a really interesting line. I think there's and satisfaction this way comes. It talks about like, give me more. I'm going to kill you for a while. Kill you for a while could be like, you're drinking just for now and you're going to survive the drinking, but it's going to rot away your liver, right? Or whatever other sin you can connect it to, it's going to slowly degrade your body over time. So I'm going to kill you for a while for a smile, right? A short little temporary mark of like, oh, this feels nice, followed by a long period of, oh. So kids, don't do drugs. And you know what? If you want to follow my lead, I don't care if you do or not, but I'm just saying I don't drink. So feel free to join me on that journey. I would happily welcome some more rockers who don't drink. There aren't very many of them. So please join if you're willing. If you're not, whatever, you do what you need to do, but just be safe, all right? Be safe. Either way, lyrically, I like what's going on. No real complaints, but I know they can do better. So ultimately, lyrically, this is a 3. And so Attitude gets a grand total of 16 points. Maybe about 10 songs ago it would have made the top 10, but unfortunately it doesn't make it today because it's going to need at least 17 to get to the top. And by top 10, I mean top 20. It is actually one step above Outlaw Torn and one step below Sad But True. Ugh, angry comments. Let's take a look at that top 20 right now. We've got one still hanging on at the top. We've got a lot of Reload songs hanging out on the bottom, and there's only one more Reload song tomorrow. So that's our list. You tell me down in the comments below using my method, what score would you give this song? Does it deserve to be in the top 20, or am I just losing my mind and that score should be much, much, much lower? But also I don't care because this is the points I'm giving it. It's my opinion, man. Make sure to check out my music. Midnight Notion is available all over the internet. I would appreciate the Spotify streams over the holidays, even though I don't have any holiday songs yet. What is this? And of course, smash that subscribe button because tomorrow we're going to finalize this album. We're going to fix it up, right? We're going to fix it. I don't know what that means, but we'll find out then. See you there. Thanks for watching.